This year has already been, I don't know about you, but it's already been, it seems like for everybody to a certain degree, really revealing about a lot of different things. Even in just things going on like all around the world and in our own lives as well. I think that 2024 is in a lot of ways a year where we're going to be certain things are going to be revealed to us, certain things are going to be exposed, certain things are going to be brought out into the light. And it's really important at this time that we are honest with ourselves, and we may be experiencing some changes that we were not anticipating. And what I'm inviting you to do right now, and the reason I'm making this video, is to kind of be present with those changes. Be present with the uncertainty that lies in those changes. Because we may have had a certain idea of how things were going to be, how things were going, and it may have been completely turned on its head. And really what that is, though, is it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for, life is a bunch of cycles. Life is, comes and goes in seasons and in waves. And a lot of the times things had to die in order for a rebirth to take place. And so, when we think about it in terms of energies, the destruction, the energy of destruction in Hinduism, I believe, or I think it's Hinduism, you've got Shiva, which is the god of destruction, and then there's a god of rebirth. And both things have to exist. We have winters so that we can have spring, and so on. And like I said, in this current time, we're in spring right now. Things are emerging, and we're entering into that summer solstice where we can reap the harvest of what we have previously planted and reap what we have sowed, right? And a lot of the times on this journey, we might be running into people, certain situations, circumstances, which really are not in alignment with our highest purpose or our highest version of ourselves or our highest timeline that we can experience in this life. And so what I think has happened for a lot of people, if you're watching this right now, maybe you can relate to this. Things have gotten shifted off course from where you thought they were going to be, but that's just because God or the universe or whatever, that source energy, the creator and your divine self, your higher self, is setting you up. It's right now, pieces are getting put into place for you to come in full embodiment and full alignment with that higher purpose, higher version of yourself. And you had to go through some lessons along the way, along the journey, for that to be able to even unfold. Because if you would have been in the same situation that you were in previously, if God wouldn't have moved the pieces on the chessboard to where they are now, and you felt like you got your pieces taken off the board, well, now you're in a situation where now you're actually set up. Going through those lessons has set you up for the very next course of action, the very next journey, the very next battle that you're going to be facing. And that's what's so powerful about changing our perspective and being fluid in our perspective and dynamic in our perspective, is that we're always able to have that shift in perspective. And the more present that we are to the moment, the more that we allow that new, fresh perspective to be received and to be lived through, for us to embody that fresh perspective. The more that we are living through the past, the more that we are entertaining thoughts of looking through the lens of past hurt, of past harm, of past situations that we felt like, woe is me, the more that we lean into that victim thinking, and the less power that we then have. But then when we take on this new approach that I'm talking about, when we take on this fresh energy, allow that cycle of winter where things died off to be a impetus for that new cycle of spring, now we are really stepping into our power, and now we are really looking at things through the eyes of a creator, through the eyes of somebody who is self-empowered, not through the eyes of somebody who is limited by the external, limited by the 3D, limited by the outer environment and people and places and things, which we don't have control over anyways. What we do have control over is the way that we're showing up, the energy that we're bringing into every fresh new situation. And being able to understand this, being able to work with this fresh energy that we have here on the planet right now, we're going to be able to see, and like I said, set us up so that all those pieces are in place for us to make that next move, for us to make that chessboard is going to be set up for our success. And like I said, a lot of the times through life, we learn more through going through failures, going through trials and tribulations and challenges than we do going through an easy life. We may want to experience a life of ease and experience a life of comfort, but what we come to realize is that the comfortable life, the life of that's actually more comfortable in the end, is oftentimes achieved by going through those hardships earlier on in the process. And that's why there's that quote, that trend, choose your hard. And, it goes along with that 70, I think it's with the 75 hard challenge or whatever it is, but it's like, yeah, do you want to do the hard thing now and reap the benefit of that later? Or did you want everything to be easy the whole time, but now you haven't molded yourself into that powerful person that's actually going to create that life, that's actually going to create something of value, that's actually going to be a force that is driving, a force that is pursuing, a force that is driven towards a creative, generative. You are a generative being, generating the world around you, generating your own version of reality instead of just fitting into the mold, a predetermined mold that somebody's already created for you. Because that's what, when you look around, that's what you see most people are. Everyone's walking around thinking that they've done this or they've done that, but you can tell by the way that they're speaking about this. You can tell by the way they're speaking about their accomplishments that what they're doing is they're seeking validation. They're seeking outside validation, external validation, because they don't feel at power within. And we've been trained and we've been entrained into this dynamic through our cell phones, through our environment, through literally everything around us. We're caught on that hamster wheel. And this is your chance, this is your sign to get off the wheel, take a look at the wheel, take a look at the world spinning, and assess your character, assess the qualities that you have as an individual, and build upon that, and carve and chisel your character, and mold it into somebody that you are going to be proud of. When you're old, when you're 80 years old, when you're 90 years old in your rocking chair, somebody that you are going to be proud of. You're going to tell your grandchildren stories about things that you overcame, about how it made you the person that you ended up being. And look at it from that lens. Look at it from the lens of there's so much more to this life than whatever situation that you might have just gone through, whatever circumstances you might currently be entertaining or that might be currently be in your environment. You see it as just, it's one pixel on a whole spectrum, on a whole image. It's like a TV screen and you're looking at this one pixel. Zoom out and have the courage to understand that there, you're looking, take your lens and widen the lens. And when you have this shift in perspective, you're going to be able to, you're not going to run from the change anymore. You're going to seek the change. You're going to seek the uncomfortability because you're saying, wow, this is just one portion of this masterpiece that I'm creating right now. This masterpiece that I'm creating of myself. I'm sculpting that version of myself like Michelangelo, like the statue of David. I'm sculpting and chiseling away and carving into that person that I am meant to be. With that being said, guys, much love as always. Drop this video a like. Hit me with a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel in this current time that we're in right now, because I promise you, if you are going through these changes, like I said, it's an opportunity. It's really a blessing and it's really a gift. And sometimes what we think are opportunities, what we think are gifts, are really distractions, and they're in disguise. Sometimes the greatest gifts, the greatest blessings might be disguised as challenges and obstacles.